The boardroom doors burst open as Jamal Min-Jun Park stormed out, his jaw clenched tight, phone already ringing with urgent calls from panicked executives. "We're losing the contract," a voice shouted behind him. Heart hammering, he didn't stop. Rain pounded Seoul streets as he pushed through the crowd, soaked suit clinging to his broad frame. One thought burned in his mind: get to the only place that still felt safe. Halmione's warmth. He shoved open the bakery door, bell jingling wildly. Aisha Yoon looked up from behind the counter, her warm brown eyes widening at the sight of him dripping water everywhere. "Jamal, what happened?" she asked, voice soft but steady. He tried to speak, but the words tangled instantly. Deal, fell, they. His hands shook as he gripped the edge of the counter. Shame flooded his chest. This was the man who commanded million-dollar logistics empires, connecting Busan to Los Angeles. Yet here he was, stuttering like a lost boy in front of the one woman who made his heart race. Aisha moved quickly, grabbing a clean towel and pressing it into his hands. "Breathe. Sit, I've got you." She guided him to a small table by the window, her touch gentle but firm. As he sat, she disappeared into the kitchen and returned with a steaming mug of spiced coffee and a fresh pastry. "Try this. New recipe, soul food heat with a Korean twist. Cinnamon, brown sugar, just enough gochujang to wake you up." Jamal took a bite. The warmth spread through him, flavors exploding, sweet, spicy, familiar. Tears pricked his eyes unexpectedly. It's good," he managed, voice cracking. For months he'd come here, ordering the same green tea, scones, and black coffee, barely able to string sentences together around her. Aisha, with her Korean mother and Ghanaian father, had built this cozy haven of fusion magic. She never pushed, never pitied, just smiled like he was enough. "Talk to me," she said softly, sitting across from him. Not as the empire guy, just as Jamal. He swallowed hard. Emotions swirling, frustration from the investor's betrayal, old childhood wounds of being the black Korean kid teased in 90s Seoul, the absent black American father who left when he was 8. The investor pulled out. Said my background makes the company look unfocused. Like being mixed means I'm not Korean enough for their boardrooms. I built everything to prove them wrong, Aisha. But today, I feel like that kid again. Stuttering, invisible. Aisha reached across, squeezing his hand. Her touch sent sparks through him. "You're not invisible to me. You walk in here every morning like you own the city, but you look at my bread like it's the only thing keeping you grounded. That's strength, Jamal, real strength." He laughed bitterly, a rare humorous spark breaking through the pain. "Yeah? The guy who closes deals with Samsung Stutters ordering coffee. Real boss energy," she grinned, eyes twinkling. "Hey, my kimchi soul food tacos were a disaster last week. Burnt half the batch and the aunties still ate them just to be nice. We all stutter sometimes, in the kitchen or in life." That small laugh loosened something in his chest. For the first time, he held her gaze longer than 3 seconds. "Thank you for seeing me." As he left that day, a folded note slipped into his palm with the pastry bag. "You command empires but speak gently to my bread. That strength is already beautiful. The rest will come when you are ready. Aisha. P.S. Come back tomorrow. I saved the best for you." That night in his penthouse overlooking the Han River, Jamal played his father's old Marvin Gaye records, ate the spiced pastry, and let the tears fall freely. Emotions crashed over him. Loneliness from years of armor, hope flickering from Aisha's words. The next morning, Jamal returned, nerves buzzing higher than any board meeting. Aisha was kneading dough, flour dusting her apron, humming a soft Ghanaian tune her father taught her. "You came," she said, smiling bright enough to chase the rain clouds away. "Yeah, couldn't stay away." The words came easier, though still careful. They talked for nearly an hour between customers, real conversation. He told her about his father's letters from America, soul music that connected him to roots he barely knew. She shared stories of her parents' love, the struggles of being Afro-Korean in Seoul, and hilarious kitchen fails like the time she tried fufu with kimchi and nearly started a small fire. You should've seen it, she laughed, eyes sparkling with humor. Smoke everywhere, my mom yelling in Korean, my dad trying to put it out with plantain. We ate takeout that night and laughed till we cried. Jamal chuckled deeply, the sound warming the bakery. Sounds better than my last investor dinner. I spilled wine on a suit worth more than most people's rent and froze up trying to apologize. They thought I was mysterious. Really, I was just terrified. Their laughter mingled, emotions shifting from light to deeper. Why do you come here every day? She asked quietly. Because here, I don't have to be perfect. You don't look at me like I'm broken when I stutter. Vulnerability poured out. Growing up, kids mocked my curls, my skin. Girls whispered I was too different. Dad left, mom worked doubles. I buried it all in work, built an empire so no one could reject me. But you slipped me that note, and suddenly I want more than deals and penthouses. Aisha's eyes softened, tears glistening. I see the man who runs empires and the boy who needs kindness. Both are beautiful. Stay for lunch? I made jollof-inspired rice with Korean spices. Let's talk more. Days turned into weeks. Conversations escalated. Jamal practiced sentences with her, stuttering less around her warmth. One evening, as rain pattered outside, he opened up fully. The anxiety started after Dad left. I felt split. Black American roots I barely touched. Korean life that never fully accepted me. Therapy helped, but nothing like this. Like you. She shared her own pain. My Ghanaian dad faced racism here too. But he taught me love bridges worlds. When I see you fighting for your voice, it makes me brave too. Their hands intertwined across the counter, hearts racing with new emotions. Hope, fear, budding attraction. Humorous relief came during a slow afternoon. A customer asked for something romantic. Aisha winked at Jamal. Give him the love bun. Extra sweet so he doesn't stutter when proposing. Jamal nearly choked on his coffee laughing. Now you're roasting me in front of customers? Bold move, baker lady. Yet escalation loomed. Tabloids snapped photos of them walking together. Headlines exploded. Empire Hair's secret bakery romance. Distraction or downfall? Jamal's phone wouldn't stop. His mother called, voice emotional. Son, be careful. They judge us mixed kids harshly. Then the investor returned with an ultimatum. End this or lose the Pacific contract. 400 billion won on the line, Jamal. Focus on business, not distractions. Anger and fear clashed inside him. He confronted Aisha that evening, voice trembling with emotion. They want me to choose. Empire or us. I built everything to prove I belong. But losing you feels like losing myself. Her eyes filled with tears, but she stood strong. I won't be the reason your dreams crumble. But running from this, from us, that's not the man I see. Tension skyrocketed the next week. Jamal's board called emergency meetings, questioning his personal distractions. Old insecurities roared back. Childhood bullies, the father-shaped hole, the stutter that once silenced him. He avoided the bakery for 3 painful days, throwing himself into damage control calls from dawn till midnight. Emotions boiled over during a late-night call with his mother. Mom, I stutter around her sometimes still, but she makes me feel whole, like my Black American side and Korean side finally fit. His mother's voice cracked with pride and worry. Then fight for her, Jamal. Your father and I couldn't. You can. He showed up at closing time, heart pounding like war drums. Aisha was wiping counters, exhaustion and hurt etched on her face. You disappeared, she said quietly. I was scared. The contract, the press, everything crashing. Words tumbled out in a rush of raw emotion. But I can't lose you. You slipped me that note and changed everything. I want conversations that last hours, laughs over failed recipes, building something real, not just empires. Aisha set down her cloth, tears streaming. I fell for the man who stutters but shows up anyway. The one who listens to my Ghanaian stories and shares his soul music. But I won't watch you resent me if the company falls. They argued passionately, voices rising, then softening. I'd rather lose every deal than lose the woman who taught me my voice matters, he said, stepping closer. Their first kiss followed. Hesitant, emotional, full of years of unspoken longing. Fireworks of joy mixed with fear. Humor lightened the heavy air the next day when Jamal helped in the kitchen. Flour flew everywhere as he attempted to shape dough. "This looks like a logistics disaster," he joked, holding up a lopsided bun. Aisha doubled over laughing. "Empire builder defeated by pastry, my hero." Yet pressure escalated brutally. The investor leaked more rumors, threatening to pull funding entirely. Board members confronted Jamal in his office. "This relationship is hurting the brand," one said coldly. Rage and despair hit him hard. He stormed out, straight to Aisha. "I'm losing control," he confessed, voice breaking in the empty bakery. "But choosing you feels like the first real win." She hugged him tight, emotions raw. "Then we fight together. No more hiding." They spent evenings planning conversations deep into the night about merging worlds. He introduced her to his mother, tears flowing as the older woman embraced Aisha. "You make my son speak from the heart. Welcome home." Aisha brought him to Afro-Korean gatherings, where he finally felt belonging, sharing laughs and stories that healed old wounds. Climax hit when the final board vote loomed. Jamal stood before them, voice steady despite inner tremors. "I built this company on resilience. My mixed heritage taught me to bridge worlds. Aisha does the same. If that's a distraction, then I step back as CEO." Gasps echoed. Emotions peaked, fear of ruin, pride in authenticity. He rushed to the bakery afterward, pulse racing. Aisha waited, apron on, eyes hopeful yet anxious. "What happened?" "I chose us," he said, words clear and strong. "Empire or heart? You. Always you." Tears of relief and love poured as they embraced. "I stuttered for years, but with you I found my voice." She laughed through sobs, humorous spark returning. Good, because I need help naming our new fusion line. Stutter-free soul buns has a ring to it, right?" Their laughter filled the shop, bonding them deeper. Months later, Jamal transitioned to chairman, mentoring young mixed heritage entrepreneur bridging America and Korea. Aisha's bakery expanded into a celebrated chain of Afro-Korean delights. Their wedding blended cultures beautifully. Hanbok with kente accents, gospel choir singing alongside traditional drums. When the officiant asked, Jamal's voice rang steady. Forever, they shared cake, one side classic Korean, the other spiced with soulful warmth, eyes locked in pure joy. Friends and family cheered, emotions overflowing with pride and hope. Sometimes the greatest empires aren't built with power alone, but with someone who helps you find your voice through every stutter and triumph. If this story moved you, the vulnerability, the love across cultures, the courage to choose heart over fear, hit that like button, subscribe for more emotional Afro-Asian stories that heal and inspire, and comment below. What's one moment that made you root hardest for Jamal and Aisha? Share your own stories of finding voice in love. Let's build this community together. Thanks for watching till the end. You're part of stories like this. See you in the next one.